Love smarter, not harder. Today's question. I was divorced many years ago. I'm 45 years young. And I've been dating a guy for just over 3 months. No strong physical attraction at the start, but I decided to give us an opportunity as I liked other things about him. He treats me really well. I enjoy spending time with him, and he's a great guy. But I do worry about settling. Perhaps I've already answered my question by admitting my concern. And I've had my fair share of unhealthy relationships. So how do I know if he's the one for me? With thanks. So I've got 3 points for you. First off, you really can't know if he's the one for you because it's only been 3 months. So the frustrating part about dating is that it just takes time to get to know someone. You know, we have to see someone over multiple situations and multiple scenarios and see how they interact with us on good days, on bad days, to see if what they say matches what they do. And people love to have these heart-to-heart, intimate, early dating talks into the night, and those are wonderful. But really, I always say, and this is something my friend told me years ago when I was still dating, he said, you know, at the beginning of a relationship, just sit back and watch the movie. I did a post about that a while ago, and I was like, oh my gosh. When he told me that, I said, yeah. He said, turn down the volume. Just watch what he does, right? And don't feed him any lines, and don't project onto the screen the scenario you'd like to have played out or the scene you'd love to see next. See who he is, and really, what does Maya Angelou say? When people show you who they are, believe them, really believe them. And so the first point is you can't know yet because dating just takes time. It's information gathering. And the second point I want to make is I think it's great that you gave him a chance, even though maybe it wasn't massive fireworks right off the bat, because sometimes attraction can grow. And because he's showing so many wonderful qualities that you enjoy spending time with him, and he treats you really well, and that attraction may grow. And pretty soon you may be like, I don't know what I was thinking about because I think he's super hot now. Another little fun fact, I just saw a research study that shows that in marriages, both the husband and the wife are happier when the wife is a bit hotter than the husband. So it behooves us as women to give the guy who maybe isn't, you know, George Clooney or whoever your guy is, right? If he's not that hot, but give him a chance because all those other qualities can just move him up the hot ladder. And apparently in marriages, we're happier when there's a little bit of inequity in the hotness and the wife is a little bit hotter. So just put that into your mind as you're making all these decisions. And then the third point I want to say is that really your gut will tell you ultimately if you're settling. And this is from my personal experience. And you may know my story of almost marrying the wrong guy and 2 months before the wedding, calling it off. And I interviewed a lot of women for my second book that's coming out later this year. And it's about calling off my wedding and kind of things to look for if you're engaged and the red flags that may be waving that we're dismissing. And I interviewed a lot of women, like I said, and most of the ones who didn't call off their wedding, you know, I interviewed a bunch of runaway brides like me, and then women I called wish I'd runaway brides. And those women who they got married, got divorced maybe a couple months later or a couple years later, they all admitted that walking down that aisle, they knew in their gut that it was the wrong decision. So I believe after couple months of gathering information, and I mean a couple months more because you've been in it 3 months, but get that information. And if your gut is telling you it's just not right, then it's not right. But like I said, because you have a past, you said, of having some unhealthy relationships, maybe that initial massive chemistry attraction wasn't there, and that's actually a good thing. Because maybe when you've had that enormous amount of attraction before, it's what Ken Page, LCSW, the author of Deeper Dating, and he was also on my podcast, episode 63, Discover Deeper Love Through Deeper Dating. Please listen to that podcast episode if you haven't, because he talks about these attractions of deprivation, which are oftentimes rooted in our unhealthy parts of us. So I think the reality that you didn't have that crazy attraction right off the bat could actually work in your favor. But trust your gut, and if in a couple more months you're still not feeling it, then no harm, no foul. You gave it a chance, but it just wasn't a fit. Thanks for the question, and I hope that helps.